reason.
True that.
Let's see. Yep, there it is, the YouTube studio, and we are live. Here we go. Hey, there's Venetian Sharks. This is Ace of Vegas here, and I hope you're doing well. And of course, welcome back to the hashtag Vegas Video Podcast. I'm your host, Ace of Vegas, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, two fab dudes in Seeking Vegas Sunrise. That's Roger and Christina. Say what's up, squad.
Hey.
What's up, squad?
Roger, will you explain what the hell you've got there?
So I've got some voice mods going on here on my little setup. I got my whole little setup here, and I got some voice mods. So we got some microphone action.
Oh, good lord, good lord. We're in so much trouble for the rest of the stream over here. Oh man, this is gonna be a day. This is gonna be a day and a half right here. Holy shit. Oh man, hang on. I gotta move my setup because I've got my setup backwards today for some reason.
Oh my god.
I do have my setup backwards, but we're okay now. We're okay. How are you? All right.
Han Solo.
Right, exactly. Everything's okay. We just had a small reactor leak here. All right. So let's talk about this. So what are we going to talk about today? What's on the docket for today? I'm going to go ahead and get our materials organized over here while we're doing this.
We got good old Sheldon Adelson, rip.
Yeah, rip to the late great one.
We got some Venetian action here. See how dirty they are, how clean they are. What else do we got? Christina, what else do we got?
We also have the possibility of cashless slot machines coming.
Yes, the excitement and the horror of that concept, but we're going to get to that later in the hour. So, all right. Let's go ahead and... You guys just want to dive right in? I know everyone's popping in on the live chat over here. We got Patrick Gang coming through. We got two fab dudes, obviously, because they're co-hosting Sneaky Vegas Sunrise, a.k.a. Anthony, always in here, too. I think I already said who's that girl. Vegas Tips and Tricks in the house over here too. We got bangs. Everyone got bangs except for me. I got Corona because I'm getting my last shot this week. Hollywood in the house too. Yeah, I got my last shot on Saturday. So if I survive that, then we'll see about a Vegas trip.
How are we supposed to know which head to talk to when you get your second shot?
No. I'm getting the one. I'm getting the Pfizer one. That's the amazing spider powers. They'll be bench pressing buses.
Oh, okay. Well, I expect you to swing your ass on over after you get that shot. Okay.
Exactly, but that's gonna have to be after my Uncle Ben's funeral, whoever that is.
Oh.
Because that's how it works. When you're Spider-Man, that's how it works. You know, they kill your uncle by default. It's unfortunate, but that's how Spider-Man works.
Not all the Spider-Mens in the Spider-Verse, not all of their Uncle Bens died.
All of their... No, I guess with Miles, it was his Uncle Aaron, yeah.
Right.
So,
no, wait.
Yeah, his Uncle Aaron.
Yeah, in the comics he did. In the game he didn't, but in the comics
Well, yeah,
he did,
not yet in the game. It's early. Anyway, all right, Spanish and Sharks. Let's go ahead and I got my boy Captain Devpool in here, alias Dr. Strange. I know where you are, Dev. Don't lie.
Dr. Strange.
Right, he's in the house. All right,
Master of the Mystic Arts over here.
Indeed, it's going to be one of those streams. Get ready. We are going into the Spider-Verse.
Isn't it always one of those streams?
It's always one of those streams. All right, let's go ahead and right. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first things first, we have our image of Sheldon Adelson and the Venetian over here. So first things first, on a more solemn note, rest in peace to the late great one over here, Sheldon Adelson. Love him or hate him, like his politics, hate his politics, whatever it is. He definitely was instrumental in shaping the Las Vegas that we know today, right up there with old Steve Wynn and definitely way above Bill Hornbuckle and old Jim Murin, old man Murin over there. But he did a lot of big stuff. I think the thing I'm going to remember him most for, just out of respect for his legacy there, going to remember him most for paying not only his employees, but also the restaurant employees of the Venetian and the Palazzo beyond the Vegas shutdown. So going above and beyond that way. I know
And
he
he
had
was
already.
the only one to do that, right?
I
Yeah.
think the Wynn tried. They paid their people, but they didn't pay the third parties and all that. He went above and beyond, paid anybody that was at his complex. He was like, you know what, I got you, I got you, I got you. Yeah, I know he's got. I know he had like what $10 billion or something like that. So yeah, he definitely could afford it. But you know what, he stepped up and he did it. So we got to give him. Got to give credit where credit's due. Fact of the matter.
Yeah, and I think he also did it to even like their to like the third party contractors
Yeah,
and stuff
third party
too. So.
contractors and everybody
Yeah.
too. Whereas Phil Ruffin, who may or may not be trash, said, right, decided against doing that because that's how he operates. So, rest in peace to Mr. Adelson, and you know our hearts go out to his family and his loved ones in this difficult time for them. So.
Rest in spaghetti, never forgetting.
Indeed, indeed. All right. In fact, you know, let's all raise our drinks to Sheldon over here. Let's go ahead and do that for him. All right,
Where's my camera? I know how to do this.
we can do this.
I'm a streamer.
This is how he would have wanted it,
Hey, at least you can get it to work.
right?
Aww.
Yeah,
There's that.
I actually heard a cool story about Sheldon Adelson last time we were in Vegas. Our Uber driver actually told us that he designed the Venetian for his wife because they went to Venice for their honeymoon. And he got all the details right, like even down to the color of the water. Like he painted that blue, like the blue walls underneath or the floors of the pools several times just to get it to exactly match the color of the water in Venice.
Wow,
That is pretty
cool.
awesome. I gotta admit.
Cool.
Once again,
Yeah.
proving that if a man does anything great, it's typically to impress a woman.
Exactly.
It's true.
Right? It's like that's what it comes down to. I speak 5 different languages because pretty girl, her. Pretty girl and different languages. Oh yeah, that's a good question. That's a question, Devpool. Where is the lime? We're gonna deal with that later. First thing though, we need to talk about the Venetian. So, according to some research that we did over at casino.org, leaving Las Vegas, Sands may just do exactly that. There's some rumors going around about the Venetian and the Palazzo possibly being sold. And we're talking like the actual Venetian Hotel, the Palazzo Hotel, and all that. What are you guys' thoughts on that now that, especially since old man Adelson, he's passed away, unfortunately. Do I still get to keep calling him old man Adelson? It sounds a little disrespectful now. I feel like you can make fun of him when he's
up in his trash.
right.
I
Well,
mean,
Phil Ruffin's
I have
alive.
other-
Phil
I
Ruffin's
have other
alive.
names popping into my head, but they're probably not PC. for everybody.
Right. I was gonna say the difference is Phil Ruffin can still defend himself, and he doesn't have the bollocks to get on the hashtag Vegas podcast and do it. So there's that. But anyway, now that Sheldon has passed away, I guess the question is who's going to take over the company. He was the CEO, he was the owner, majority shareholder, I believe, too, if I recall correctly. So what are they going to do with the Sands? Because they do have some presence in Vegas. Obviously, they have a big presence in Macau, but we'll talk about that a little later on. But big presence in Vegas, obviously, with the second largest hotel and casino in the world. Not in Vegas. In the world. Venetian Palazzo is the second largest hotel. So, what do you think they're going to do about it?
I honestly don't know. I really don't. That's a big undertaking for anybody to just step in and try to do what he did, just in regards to how well he treated people.
All right, so there's that. You're going to have the
Yeah.
cash for it.
I think it's likely that they'll sell the Vegas properties but keep the Macau. Because it seems like the Macau properties might be a little more profitable.
You know,
at
it's
this
interesting you bring that up. Actually, if the live chat doesn't mind, how's the live chat doing right now? Are you guys up for a chart?
Chat loves charts.
Chat loves charts over here. Kino Kid talking about Phil Ruffin backstage. All right. Let's go ahead and bring up the chart over here because Dan has an idea. So Dan would like to know if I'm going to buy the Venetian and throw some comps at my humble subscribers. And I gotta admit, Dan, I love the idea. I was gonna gut the thing personally. So what was I was gonna do? I'm gonna go down there next week. I'm gonna pick it up for I think they want $6 billion for the two of them, but I'm gonna offer Tree Fitty. I'm gonna offer him Tree Fitty. Indeed. And I'm gonna gut the place, and we're gonna turn it into the Space of Vegas Hotel and Casino. You guys have already seen renderings of it. It's gonna be great. There's gonna be lightsabers and shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Player cards.
You guys have seen it. I put it up on the channel. It was last year's April Fool's video.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and bring up this chart over here. I am gonna put this up over here.
VBI says that Hard Rock is possibly looking at buying it.
Hard Rock would be an interesting purchaser. So yeah, because I was looking at this, and honestly, at this point, if you wanted to buy Venetian, it might be kind of a rough buy over here. So this is their third quarter earnings. This is public information. It's their investor report. They put this out over here because they're I remember I was arguing with somebody, I think on a Yu-Gi-Oh forum. They're like, it's a major company. They wouldn't just put their information out there like that. Like, it's a public company. It's a publicly traded company. They have to. Like, if you own a piece of a company, you get that information regardless. So it doesn't matter. It's public knowledge. That's how they try to get people in there. But anyway, so yes, this is their real earnings report. This is what they've offered. I'm sure they've taken some creative liberties with it, but these are the numbers. And as you guys can see, by the end of the 30th of September, the operating loss was 610. Now, obviously, poor people like us, we would go through with all the zeros and the comments and all that, but these are like mega millionaires here. So they always assume that the figure is in millions unless otherwise stated. So obviously the 610, we can't afford that 610. Obviously, if they had just lost $610, I'd be a principal investor there. So this is $610 million. Right. I could afford that. I could totally cover their $1,477 that they lost this whole year here. No worries, I'm on that. But $1.4 billion.
Phil Ruffin's in the chat.
Oh, Phil Ruffin. Hey, Phil Ruffin, you're trash. He's so old, rainbows were in black and white when he was a kid. I love it.
That's awesome.
Phil Ruffin is my new favorite subscriber here. Brilliant.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say to that.
It's factual, I'm sure.
Oh my God.
But let's get into the net revenues over here. So the way that they break them down, and MGM does the same thing. They break them down, but I only know MGM because I'm invested in them as well, too. I don't own enough about them to not make fun of Jim Urin or Bill Hornbuckle or anything like that. But... I get the investor report. They email it to me. I read it like, okay, I don't have enough of this company for this to matter to me, whatever. But this is basically the second thing over here. So you actually get to see the individual casino statistics over here. So you get to see how much Venetian Macau picked up on the table. You get to see the Las Vegas operating properties over there, the table game wins and all that good stuff there. And you'll see the table game wins in Vegas. They're significantly less than what we're seeing in Macau over there. But they have a lot more property in Macau than they do in Vegas right now, too. The Vegas is almost a bit of an add-on. It feels like a bit of an, not an oversight, but kind of a second thought there. You know what I mean? But that's just my personal opinion there. And if we scroll down a little bit more, you can see who lost what. So obviously they took in about $59 million in casino revenue, which is rough. That's just not a lot of money in casino revenue over 3 months. Even compared to last year, they pulled up $103 million, comparatively speaking. And overall, the business is doing, I think, total something like 18% of... They're pulling in 18% of what they were pulling in last year. And if I walked up to my boss and told him, hey, we're running at 18% efficiency, he'd have me drawn and quartered. So I don't know really what the plan is otherwise there. So there's that. Those are the numbers. Numbers don't lie. You can lie with numbers. Don't forget about that. But numbers don't lie. That's basically what we're looking at.
Well, and it's sad really because it's not just Venetian or MGM or anybody like that that's having all these problems. It's all the hotels across the country and the world really.
Right.
And for them to be like, 18%, blah 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 blah, everybody's having issues. But this whole economy is not set up to support such a loss. So people are going to start, or companies are going to start crashing hard.
I mean, they're already laying people off there.
Right, right. And we've been in this pandemic for a year now, so it's only going to get worse as things don't pick up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And with no conventions, it's pretty rough too, because that's a huge money maker.
Yeah, the convention revenue is definitely dropping off over there. Oh, looks like we got Intel coming through. We got Coco coming through. The IRS is in the live chat.
I just want to point out that Phil Ruffin has left the chat, and now we have the IRS.
The IRS is coming after Phil Ruffin. They're going to sort that out.
I think my phone's ringing. I think it's work. I got to go. IRS is here.
This is how they find you now, actually. They don't call your phone anymore.
They just pop into random live chats.
They pop into your live chats. Like, there you are.
They're another part of Nightbot.
There you go. 100%.
Kino Kid talking about back doors. Calm down.
Good night, everybody. Well, we do have the day off tomorrow, I suppose.
That's true. We do have the day off tomorrow. I forgot tomorrow was a holiday, and I was like, I'm already off on Mondays anyways. So.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit more now. So now that we know a little bit about how Venetian's doing, or how they're not performing more accurately, let's talk about some potential buyers. So first and foremost, per usual, when we're talking about buying and selling casinos, it's our buddy, Old Man Hornbuckle, Bill Hornbuckle, and MGM Resorts International. They are a top contender right now, according to iGaming Brazil, and take that for what it's worth. iGaming Brazil. Bloomberg. They were reporting what Bloomberg News reported. Yeah, so at least they're reporting from a reputable reporter who has reputable sources. It's secondhand information now, but it's brilliant. Short story is Bloomberg News was saying back in October that Sands was looking for about $6 billion for the Palazzo and the Venetian. I'm assuming they're selling them as a set. Probably in a leaseback deal, which I think is a REIT, a real estate investment trust, which is fundamentally selling your building to someone. So it's basically what MGM did with Blackstone when they sold the Bellagio and the MGM Grand. So they sold it to them, but they're still running it. So it's basically like if I were to sell my house to someone and then I leased it back. So I got I sold my house for, let's say, $1 million. And over the next 5 years, I decided to go ahead and pay them back the $200,000 plus whatever interest every year to get back up to the 5 years and get it back. And for some reason, I'm also running an Airbnb out of here, and I'm still allowed to do that. So I'll be pulling in the money from the Airbnb as well as paying back whoever I've sold this to. And then once I've gotten it back, the equity is theoretically increased. I've also still made my margins, and I got a whole bunch of money on the front end to probably do something like a renovation or do something like an upgrade or a rebuild or hire somebody or whatever in the meantime. So it's like an injection of cash, and you get your stuff back, and it's ultimately a big investment, so it works out for everybody. And the guy who bought it for me doesn't care because he's not living there. He's not running his Airbnb out of there. He's just like, all right, here's $5 million. You're going to give me $6 million in 5 years. GG.
Yeah.
That's basic. That's the best way I could explain it easily. Hopefully that's marginally correct if I understood everything I read correctly.
Yeah, that sounds about right. To me it sounds like, the big companies can get away with stuff like that, but if a little guy like you or I tried it, it just wouldn't work.
Right. The IRS would get us, actually, because the IRS...
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to IRS for the super chat, by the way. We're having a drink on the IRS. Cheers.
To me, it seems like on the corporate level, it seems like a legal loophole for double dipping, which I'm sure it's completely illegal because I'm sure there is a loophole for them to do that. But if they need to make money somehow, if it's a legal loophole, then by all means, do what you got to do to stay open. I love the Venetian, so please stay open.
Right. So if they're looking to do a lease back like that, MGM would probably be a front runner there. So Chris, can you think of any reason that MGM might not want to do this? I mean, obviously none of us are casino experts. We obviously don't own or run casinos. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be doing this out of our basements. Granted, it's not our parents' basements, but it's our own basements. We wouldn't be doing this then, right?
It just seems like a really rough time for anyone to add more real estate in Vegas when it's so hard to get reservations and revenues down, and people are scared to go out there. Um, it's just kind of a weird time to buy something. I could definitely see them wanting to sell, but to find a buyer could be a little tough.
Right. So you wouldn't buy the Venetian if you had $6 billion lying. Well, I guess you'd have to have, because what would it cost you? It probably cost you something like $7.2 billion, because you'd have to be able to operate it and run it. And for a property like that, if I'm estimating correctly, I know that Planet Hollywood costs about $1.2 million a day just to physically operate. So assuming that scales linearly to a place like Venetian, that's at least $2 million a day, and you multiply that out by 365 days a year. Well, 365.25, but let's just go ahead and round it for the sake of it.
Don't base your math off a Mayan calendar. Come on.
Right.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. So right now, it's probably going to lose money, but can you get it for a good deal? And will things return to normal?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it could be a good investment. It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell at this point there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Vegas is not going anywhere. There will always be, even if it's a rundown casino, it'll still be open.
Vegas is always going to have something to do.
Yeah, Vegas will always have something to do. Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens for sure. Yeah, and I'm surprised. I haven't heard anything about El Dorado wanting to buy.
I don't think... Well, let me let you finish your thoughts. I've got a thought about that.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I don't see El Dorado as being a good investor here. And I'm going to tell you why. They just got out of the Caesars deal. Changed their name. And now they're officially Caesars. That cost them a lot of money to do. I think that was like a $9.5 billion deal. And they got like 9 Vegas casinos for that deal too. So that was a pretty good deal, as opposed to 2 Vegas casinos. And one of those casinos was Caesars Palace, which is still up there. I mean, I'd probably pay about $1.5 billion for Caesars Palace, frankly. I think it's worth at least that. So they got one hell of a deal for getting all those casino properties there. But the other kicker is I think they're involved with VICI properties too, and gambling, which owns a lot of racetracks and little locals casinos and all that. So they've done a lot of pressing and they've done a lot of pushing and all that, and they've worked their way in there. And I'm not sure if the Vegas Gaming Control Board is going to let them get away with picking up 2 more properties, especially 2 more high-profile properties. And that's assuming they have the liquid capital right now. I just... God, this is a Vegas podcast, and we're talking about real estate law and business.
We are not talking about real estate or investment.
Oh, yes, we're not. That's my bad. I am specifically, but you are not. This is not informed. But I am...
No comment on food.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Tina, for the super chat there. But bottom line is, I'm not sure if Caesars Entertainment, Caesars El Dorado, has the money to do this right now. I just don't think that they're good. I don't think they're a good fit for it. That's my guess, as a layman, for the record.
Yeah. Well, another thought is when that would kind of give them the whole corner over there. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to build this crazy theme park kind of thing behind the Wynn.
Right. They could have that bridge fun.
Do it over there instead.
They could have a nice little bridge between them. Because, what's Wynn's target demographic? I know they're a little more upscale, but I kind of feel like...
Pennies, obviously.
Pennies for Vegas, 100%. They got to get our boy Mark in there.
Are Canadians. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay. I feel like the Wynn's demographic is just constantly changing. Like 1 minute they're promoting, oh my God, get a room for $79 a night. All of a sudden you're promoting, hey, we got a great deal on the weekend for $249 a night.
Right.
Make up your minds. Do you want low rollers or do you want high rollers?
Well, based on how they treat Wynn Slots players, clearly high rollers.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas Venetian,
I've never done well there.
I got a video about it later this week. Spoiler warning: it's not very good. But
spoiler alert!
Spoiler warning: it's not gonna be flattering for Wynn Slots. I'll say that much. It's rather unfortunate.
Yeah, they keep taking things away.
They keep ruining the game. They have a perfectly good game that they have no desire to let people enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and don't you have a video that like you have to play pretty much 24 hours a day?
I've had 9 of them, and that's the most recent one. It's like, here's how you do it if you want to not sleep and still
You have to
not
quit your
win.
job to have a room.
Right?
So here's my question: how is Penny's always getting these great deals at Wynn? Is it because of the mobile games?
No, because the mobile games you have to pay now.
Oh, okay.
So
I think they used to be good, and I think he accumulated a lot of.
I think
is it
so.
gems?
Yeah, you got a lot of gems, and he probably booked before the. I think what happened is he probably booked before the pandemic, and they let you rebook. That's how I got my last night there. Is they let me rebook after I was done. So there is that. But now at this point, I doubt I'll be booking anything at Wynn unless I get like a ton of gems, and I think it's worth the $200 to do.
Yeah. I think I got the impression that Penny's was using up the last of what was available to get the free rooms.
I think so too. I think he's just kind of burned it out like the rest of us.
Before that went away.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think him playing a 9-cent bet on Texas Tea would grant him free rooms.
What are you talking about? He's the highest roller in there. No one else plays Texas Tea at that level, bro. Who else is playing Texas Tea like that? He owns a wing of the Treasure Island.
Thanks for Vegas, come on down!
Confirmed. Oh man, we got Pat Butler in here too, talking about Aria. 2 hand pains at Aria. Good damn. He's about to buy
Nice.
out. Actually, you know what? Pat Butler, he's gonna buy the Venetian. Confirmed. That's canon. That's canon now.
Patrick, if you buy the Venetian, I will run your back of house.
All right.
I'm very good at it. Trust me.
There you go. Good night, everybody. I need a good night, everybody counter anytime that Roger's on the stream.
Yes, we do.
All right.
I think Samara and Gord should buy the Venetian.
Nah, I think they're too invested in Cosmo though. Like that's their summer house. Yeah. They have to sell their summer house.
If Cosmo ever goes up for sale, they'll be like, "Oh yes!"
I'm pretty sure they might be the ones selling it. I think they own it, and they just don't want to tell us.
Right.
Right. We can't go back to Vegas. We need to sell our Cosmo.
Right. Oh man, so I guess my last thought. I think someone else brought it up in the chat. Who was it? I have to scroll backwards a little bit. His name Richard Greenberg was saying that Wynn would probably only invest in Macau these days, and I think I agree with that. He was also saying it's probably going to be Blackstone looking to purchase it, like they purchased Cosmo and they purchased MGM and Bellagio and guys like that. I think that makes sense because Macau. That's the market right now. Venetian doesn't seem to give a damn about Vegas anymore. I think if Sands just completely severed ties with Vegas, they'd probably be fine. Because I think the only reason that Venetian is still there and Sands is still investing in it is just because they're sitting there like, well, if I have, let's say, Shigeru Miyamoto, that's the guy that made Mario, for example. Let's pretend he's a high roller. He actually doesn't get paid that much more than your average game developer, but let's say he's the super high roller. He wants to come out there. He's going, it's me, Mario. I'm having a good time. And someone tells them, like, the wrong thing. I know he's Japanese, and I give him an Italian accent, but it's because he made Mario. That's the joke. But no, let's say he's having a good time. He's playing his baccarat. He's playing his blackjack, whatever his game is. And then someone like, they try to say something, but they give him the wrong finger because they don't understand how the Japanese language works or something like that. So he's like, "Hey, I'm offended." What the? They get offended. He gets offended. What the hell? And then Sans can say, "Hey, Mr. Miyamoto, we're sorry that MGM treated you like that. We know which fingers to use because we are in Macau and we have a better understanding of Japanese culture, of Chinese culture, of Korean culture, and places like that. So please come down to the Venetian. We have the same guys that are working down there, and we'll take care of you. How about that?" And, Shigeru Miyamoto is going to be like, "Oh, dude, that sounds totally awesome. Let me call Masahiro Sakurai, see if he wants to come too." I'm not sure why he's a surfer now. He just is. I didn't want to do a Japanese accent. It sounded a little offensive, so we're not doing that.
You'll do an Italian one. I want to hear your Japanese one now.
That's a good night, everybody, indeed.
I'm going to sit here silently until you do a Japanese accent.
Well, Roger's off the podcast for the rest of the night. Hajimemashite, Soka Raja-san.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Domo?
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Indeed. All right. All right, now before we get flagged, any last thoughts on the Venetian and who should buy it in the wake of Sheldon? I think it might be reasonable to remember that Adelson was actually discussing this before he passed in November. So he brought it up, I think, early November in a news article. He was thinking about selling it himself. So I'm sure they have his blessing. I'm sure his estate has his blessing, and his company has his blessing. So, you know.
And I'm sure he's known for a while that his health was declining, so that's why he was already in talks about doing it.
Right.
Did we mention that what VBI said about Hard Rock buying it?
I think we discussed it a little bit, but no, we can expound on that. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know much about Hard Rock at all, anyways, as a company. I've never even been to the Hard Rock when it was open there, so.
Yeah, I haven't been there either.
Yeah, I've been to Hard Rock. That's a single man's casino hotel or a single woman's hotel casino, like however you want to identify. You best be single. Yeah, we know. The Kid and Ryan, we love you, man.
He did.
He does. No, there's a reason for it. It's for single people. It really is for single people. I would not take Wonder Woman to Hard Rock for any reason.
I get the impression that it's kind of like a gigantic Hooters with slot machines.
Oh my.
Well,
I mean, it just kind of popped into my head. I don't know why.
It was also featured in the OC The Vegas episode.
Right, and honestly, it's a better Hooters than the Hooters Hotel was. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, the Hooters Hotel. I don't think we ever went there either.
We went there once. I think we were staying at MGM, and it's really hard to get anywhere when you stay at MGM in the middle of the night.
Yeah, Hooters was
because MGM is like a maze, anyways.
I know that's a city on its own, basically.
Yeah, yeah. We don't go in there. We hate trying to navigate that place.
Yeah, that's a rough one. All right, so you're thinking Hard Rock then. Yeah, I don't know. Chris, what do you think? Who you think would be a good principal investor?
As far as buying the Venetian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of these Wall Street companies.
Yeah. You think it's going to be... So you think MGM's going to go for it, or you think Blackstone, or maybe Wynn?
Everything I read made it look like MGM's investment arm was kind of interested.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking Blackstone would probably be the best bet. I mean, they really have no interest in running these places. They just make their money, and they do just fine. They just want to own it, and I think that works in this instances. So you're not losing anything. And Changoland is really angry at the Venetian and the Palazzo. What's up, Changoland? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Oh, he's a Wynn fan. He is a Wynn fan for sure, confirmed. Yeah, I think that Wynn is too invested in Macau. MGM's probably more concerned about getting to Japan at this point, because I know they're still working on that. They're probably more worried about that than expanding their death grip on the Vegas Strip. And I think the best investor is going to be Christina Stalger right there. No, get back here. Come back, buddy.
Come back.
Come back, my baby.
There he is. There's our investor right there.
What happens when I have Zoom meetings, too? It's just the booper floats up.
All right. Outstanding. All right, so we're ready to... Should we move on to the next subject
our
here?
Other co-host.
Here we go. Let's move on to the next subject. So, Christina, I think you have the floor on this one, because this was pretty much your thing. I just brought up an image over here in the on the video, and this is of a chain of slot machines, but these are a little different. What is the major difference on this?
So it sounds like, based on an IGT article that we read, that Vegas might be pretty close to approving cashless slot machines.
What?
Cashless slot machines. They're blaming COVID. I don't know if I could say that word.
It's okay. These things never get monetized. I'm just going to tell everyone right now. I do the hashtag Vegas podcast for the lulz. This is for the community. Okay. This is to do fun things with my friends. This is to have a good time with the viewers and the viewing audience and all that. These things never get monetized. I don't make a dime. Aside from the super chats, I don't make a dime on the hashtag Vegas podcast streams. They don't get monetized. You can say whatever you want as long as it's not racist or sexist, that sort of thing. As long as you're not hurting anybody. Say literally whatever you want.
Yeah, so it sounds like they are trying to add these cashless slot machine options so that you can have a virtual wallet or use your credit card or directly link to your bank account in order to gamble. And that sounds super dangerous, especially for those of us that like to play down to zero.
Oh, man. Well, let's talk about it a little bit here. I need some more light. I'm already out of light. Let's discuss this a little bit here. So I think Patrick's already ahead of the game here about the problem gambling. Well, let's talk about the positives of this first.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the positives. So what do you think some good thing? How would this benefit people, do you think?
Well, you won't have a
Roger's
huge
like, nope,
ATM.
fuck that.
The only one is just saving those ATM fees.
But I bet you they'll find a way to charge some type of fee for transactions.
Right.
Yeah, and you're probably going to spend that extra money that would have gone to the ATM fee in the slot.
If you're doing like a 4% ATM fee versus, you know,
a 4%, that's
time,
generous. That you're giving them a lot of credit.
Like, fine, 10%.
Let's call it what it is. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say 8%. Let's call it what it is.
Okay, well let's say 5% just to make it easy. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not doing any math anyways. So if you do like, okay, most of them have like a 5 to 10% ATM fee,
right?
And that's 1 to 2 times maybe a day. Even if you do only like a 0.5 or a 1% fee on every transaction in a slot machine, think about that every time you go to a new slot machine throughout the day.
Oh my God! Oh.
That's crazy.
I mean, could you imagine if it changed per hotel too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guarantee it will.
Well, and they're talking about linking the hotels that are with the same company, so that you can use your virtual wallet at different.
That'd be good.
So that encourages you to stay at MGM properties. It encourages you to stay at Caesars properties. Make sure that you only gamble at the D or the Circa or the Golden Gate if you're downtown. That sort of thing there.
Yeah. And it's no different than the benefits of using your player's card at those said casinos too.
Right.
And
I guess you could.
Money.
I guess you could just tie it directly to your card that way, and then you'd always get the points too. And I wonder if you got the. Oh my God, there's so many possibilities and so many terrible things. Like I'm thinking, well, if you got the casino player's card, maybe you get bonus points on top of that, on top of the regular points. You can triple or quadruple stack those points. On the other hand, those things are basically like department store credit cards. I think it's like a 15% APR or something ghastly like that, and it's just Jesus.
I mean, unless they institute some way to like if you have access to your account on your phone to set up a limit for your accounts throughout the day.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that you can set like a monetary limit or a time limit.
That would be
okay.
Like $500 or 2 hours.
Whichever comes first, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm sure whatever comes last.
Though,
I don't know.
Because I feel like the benefit of going to the ATM, or like, we try to go before we actually head to Vegas so that we're, not paying Vegas ATM fees.
Right.
But we know once it comes out of the ATM, it's basically like you put that cash in a Home Depot bucket and let it on fire.
Right.
And that's your limit. And,
that's how it works.
Once it's out of the ATM, it's not yours anymore. It's Vegas's money.
Yeah,
there you go.
But I don't really want Vegas to have access to my bank account.
Right. It belongs to the streets at that point.
And you know what? With the rise in hacking and shit nowadays, I don't really want to know the reason for my card and stuff to be out there.
That's a good point, because it's not like slot machines. They're not especially. Let's call it what it is. I found that they're not especially secure. I know the operating system that they run off of, and there are some pretty easy back ways through that operating system. They still require USB. I mean, there are hacks for these things. There are button combinations you can do. Not that I'm encouraging that. I'm just saying that that's a factual. That's a fact. It's something that you can do. And
we are in no way encouraging anybody to try hacking, but just know that there are ways and people have done it.
That's exactly right. Right.
Yeah, the other thing I saw is they're going to have you use a PIN to access your virtual wallet or your bank link.
God forbid someone actually has the.
Dangerous for those of us that vlog slot machines, because if you're drunk enough, you might forget to get that out of the screen.
Oh Lord!
And then you're logging your PIN number.
Or here's what's worse too.
The same as your bank account.
That's what I was going to say for the people that can't remember
a lot of people use the same number for everything.
And hopefully they don't use if they don't use PayPal or something, they use your own proprietary system. that would be okay because then that PIN number wouldn't work anywhere else anyways. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But if they're going to use like PayPal or something for a virtual wallet or Android Pay or Apple Pay, whatever, that's just trouble.
Yeah, it just seems like
I
it'd be
think
pretty.
the whole thing's a bad idea. It's just,
I do too. I mean, if they set limits,
because you have to think about it if you have to go back to the ATM during
Right.
your visit to Vegas.
right. Oh
And
man,
you're
I've already
like,
taken out
really
300. I'm
worth
going to take out another 3.
Right?
And they have those brochures on top, and you look at it, and you're like, "Oh, do I have a problem?"
Do I have a
Right?
problem? No, I don't have a problem. I still have money. I'm taking out.
Like I'm not I haven't lost everything yet. Like the mortgage is paid. You're feeling like all right at that point, but you know.
Yeah, the ATM didn't say decline. I'm fine.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, and they're saying like it's less things to touch, but it's not less things to touch. You're playing a slot machine.
Yeah, because you're still touching
Right.
the buttons. You're still touching
We're
your
touching
player's
all of
card.
the slot machines. Like,
You're
it's
still sitting down.
Unless they make like a virtual linking system where you can link your phone to this machine and just press your phone to play the game. I mean, but I don't want to do that. I like the
actually,
tactile
hang
sensation
on.
of touching the buttons.
I think I got it figured out. So maybe their theory is because you don't have to go to the ATM, you're touching fewer things. But if you brought your cash with you, that's irrelevant.
True. That's true.
yeah. Well, but cash is dirty anyways.
Cash
so.
is dirty anyway. And then also, I guess if you break it down to like maybe if they're assuming you're doing casino credit, maybe. Because I guess the real question is, what's the difference between this and the casino credit? I mean, obviously we know what the difference is between this and what casino
And is
credit
it
would be.
convenient enough that you can choose casino credit?
That's another thing.
Right.
So, yeah,
Really?
that's right. Because you wouldn't have to. Because you have to apply for casino credit is the thing. They have to check your bank account, check
You
your
have to
credit.
approve.
Yeah, you got to get approved. Whereas if you got your credit card, you just slide it on in. They're like,
Yeah.
Although from what I've heard, it's harder to get approved for a Home Depot card than it is casino credit.
oh, I'm sure
So,
because they want the money. They want the money. That's the type of business they're in. Fact of the matter.
yeah.
So.
Whoa. What is Gord saying over there?
Oh, let's find out. Let's get into the live chat over here. Let's open this up to the live chat over here. Let's see. Triple Ripple. When
What is he talking about?
does
I
that?
don't know.
Oh, something about
Changed
pen.
my name.
Oh man. Well, let's go ahead and get into the live chat anyway and see what else
Oh,
we have
I know
to.
what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about. I know what Coco's talking about.
What was ever? Don't want the casino on the phone, much less the bank account here. I'm so far behind.
I can't tell you what
Yeah.
Coco's talking about because it was a private video if you're a member, so I don't want everybody to know.
Oh, members only. Roger over here.
Yeah. Well,
That-
yeah.
That was
It was-
totally worth the
It was
member.
dirty. It was so dirty. Ladies and gentlemen, it was so dirty you'll never believe your eyes.
You know it's dirty if Roger thinks it's dirty.
It was great. I loved
the
it. I
baseline
laughed
here.
so hard. Josh, go ahead and go in chat and just put how many ha-has I was screaming out loud.
Oh, good lord.
Was it like your reaction to the T-Rex?
Mhm.
Oh my god, the T-Rex.
Oh man, you hated that thing.
Back and watch that reaction like 5 times because it was the best part of any
Oh,
video.
God. I have nightmares
Oh, that
about that damn thing still.
That's mortifying. That's terrifying. All right. Well, let's see. Live chat. I know you guys have already expressed your opinions about this, but let's go ahead and give the live chat like 2 or 3 minutes here.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about this in the live chat about the possibility of a cashless slot machine? So here's the thing that bothers me about it is I do prefer to have the cash, and I don't like the option of not having it. I'd probably do, I'd probably get like a prepaid Visa or something stupid like that. And I'd put like $500 on it or whatever. Once it's out, it's out. That is what it is. There's probably like ways around it, and I can't imagine they wouldn't just want to get something prepaid or something like that too, just on the merit that they want the money no matter what the source is coming from, and they wouldn't cut out an entire demographic of people that some people are just like, hey, I only use cash. They're not gonna cut people out like that because
and
that's
they
more
can't.
money sources.
That would be a huge revenue loss. They could never do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Well,
wouldn't.
is it safer too because you don't have to worry about the Cosmo track team and leaving your Tito?
Right?
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. I guess it depends on where it goes.
Ogden, 2 cent, hint, hint, wink, wink.
Oh shoot! See, Tim prefers cash. Tim Humphers in there. Good to see him in the live chat, man. I knew he's always lurking. He's always lurking.
Yeah, definitely cash. I mean,
Live chat, share your thoughts. Tell us now. Cash or no? Yeah or no?
Where did you get this? What even
I
is
get bored
this?
easily.
I need another beer. Hold up.
I definitely see a lot of people
So
saying
Tamara
that before
saying
cash.
she thinks the max amount per day would be good, but I wonder if there's a way to override it.
Oh,
bet you there
there's
is.
probably gonna be a
Like
way
if
to
your
do it.
DJ and urge kicks in,
There's gonna be a way
like,
to do it.
there's like a secret passcode to override your max.
All right.
And Josh also said, I would consider preloading a card, for example, Caesar's properties, and then cashing it out like a Tito when I'm done popping around.
Ah, all right. There you go. That's an option too. Tamara
preloaded
definitely
card.
prefers cash. And
A lot of
Chango,
cash.
yeah, Chango saying he doesn't play any machines unless he has throwaway cash. Don't want to put it back in the bank. So he's just like, whatever I toss away is what I toss away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our local casinos, I forgot about that, Josh. Our local casinos let us link our phones instead of using our player's card in our machines.
Oh, that's cool.
That is kind of
Yeah.
cool, but that also kind of mortifies me given how easily that link. I mean, especially if it's Bluetooth and going into a slot machine of all machines.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's Bluetooth or if it's RFID. I think it's actually RFID.
Okay, that's a little better, but still.
But still, because RFID is so easily skimmable, it's so easy to steal it.
Yeah.
Well, and I wonder if you might accidentally leave your card logged in
Yeah.
to the slot
I think
machine.
if you walk away, it automatically disconnects.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I think it has to. If it's Bluetooth or RFID, it'll disconnect either way.
There we go. There's Patrick. So Patrick Gang over here. I like this comment. The thing is, the audience here is already money conscious. Ace of Vegas, your channel is based on deals in Vegas. I think almost everyone here would be responsible. And I agree with that sentiment. I don't think we have any... Okay.
We're also a community full of degens.
we are, but
Yeah,
we use that
I like
affectionately.
so
Consider myself
responsible.
responsible with money, but like there was a night I was sitting there at Paris at 3:00 in the morning, and I was playing the Buffalo, and Anthony walked up. He's like, "You won $60," and I was like, "I put in 100," and he's like, "Cash out!" Like,
Well,
Like,
you're having fun, but it's an entertainment budget. Like, we don't... Here's the thing, though. I think the difference
but
between...
I keep getting 2 coins. I need to get 3 coins.
Right?
Yeah, and you know what? Josh made another good point. I'd probably end up leaving my loaded card and losing everything, leaving it in a machine.
Right, that's the
that'll be
kicker
another-
there. Because at this point,
Yeah.
though, because what we're doing, and I mean, as much as we like to say that we're degens and things like that, before we go to Vegas, we pay our mortgage. We pay the cable bill, we pay the water bill, we pay the light bill, we pay the car note and all that. The insurance is paid for. We put the kids to bed, we send them to grandma's and all that, go grocery shopping, then we get on the plane. I think generally, I can't think of anyone immediately that's a problem gambler on the channel or in our community, honestly. And I think that's a helpful thing. So I'll definitely say Pat's 100% correct on that.
Yeah,
We try to save
we
money.
are
And
all degening on a small scale.
exactly, like, it's like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and play it down to 0, but this is play money. This is, like, I would have wasted this on a PlayStation light up kit otherwise. So that's all it is. It's play money. It's going to get spent regardless. This is just
That's
how I've chosen to do it. So
And at least if you spend it, hi Josh. At least if you spend it gambling, there's a chance of winning it back.
you might get a little something else out of it. But the way we see it is, we're going to put this on the table. If we leave with anything from what's on the table, we've done all right. If not, then oh well, we were prepared for this. I think that's a
and
big
it's
difference.
kind of like you were spending money to play a game.
Right,
That's
exactly.
exactly what it is.
It's like buying a video
no,
game.
You were
They
paying
made
for entertainment.
If they made a Grand Theft Auto slot machine, I'd never leave.
Right? I think they have one, actually.
Don't they have that in the MGM, like the gaming area?
No, they don't have
Grand
actual
Theft Auto
slot
slot
machines in
machine?
there. They don't have actual slot machines. They have like this big ass Pac-Man in there, and that's Wonder Woman's favorite thing to play is the giant Pac-Man machine at the level up bar. That's what you're talking about. That's where my boy Scooby plays.
I just want to gamble.
Freaking DJ Soundwave over there.
You
Anxious.
got level up in Denver?
Do we?
There's a level up, yeah. It's
Oh no,
on,
that's a
like-
1-up. That's 1-up. That's different.
Oh, 1-up, yeah.
Oh, oops.
Mm.
I just love gambling, but I don't want to. I don't like the idea of using my card or my bank account. in a
I know.
machine.
Right. Yeah. I
Like-
mean,
At the end of the day, there's going to be
cash
ways.
I agreed to lose already.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't like
it'd be
at the end of the day, I don't like the idea of, even if there's a remote possibility of unlocking more than I already put. If I put a limit on it, being able to unlock more. I don't like the idea of doing that. At least if I have
Right.
cash, I can't get any more because we don't go to the ATM because we already have our cash with us.
Yeah. Yeah, we very rarely do. I would say we bring what we're going to spend for gambling with us, and then we maybe go to the ATM one more time or
Right.
two more times.
I'll never go to
Right.
the. I went to the ATM once because this was single me. I was gambling with this girl, and I'd gone over the budget, and I'd calculated things, and it was like I think it was like a $50 ATM fee for the 500 I pulled out, and I'm like, never again, never again.
Yeah. The
It
only
was so
time we
gross.
really end up having to go to the ATM is like if we go out with our friends that are actually dealers and they're trying to teach us table games,
Then you'll
we
do that.
blow through money like a lot quicker than we do when we're just by ourselves. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
we brought what we were going to spend for the day, but we might have to go get like a little bit more.
Right.
Right. Typically, either me or Josh does pretty well within the first couple days, so that we don't have to touch a whole lot of our rest of our spending money that we brought with us. I mean, occasionally we do, but yeah, we don't go to the ATM that often at all.
Right.
Yeah. Anthony actually does a lot better than I do with slots. Like last time, that's what happened with us. He won on Planet Moolah the first night,
Right.
and then that ended up covering our gambling for the rest of the trip. So I think we ended up breaking even,
That's
but
pretty good.
we got to play a lot.
I think if they institute this cashless system, Muffy's like, sorry, I'm reading chat too. If they institute this cashless system, you're going to have obviously less ATM fees, but you're going to have more people going bankrupt from this, and then you're going to have less income. because of
Problem
it.
gamblers.
So,
Ultimately destroying problem gamblers. I
The
guess the bet.
Clark Griswolds of the world.
Right. Well, we
all right,
know
hold
we
on,
know
hold
that
on,
we
hold
have.
on. Let me give Muffy what she wants real quick. I don't have Transformers. I do have a ghost. I am a ghost. Okay, that's all. That's all you're getting, Muffy.
There you go,
Calm
Kev.
down.
That's all you, bro. Okay, so what about this? So let's go ahead and assume that they passed the cashless system. It's popular, and the casinos love it enough to completely replace all their machines. Are you going back to Vegas to gamble?
Yes.
Yes.
You are, even if there's no option for cash.
Yes.
If that's the only option to go to Vegas, definitely
Oh
go.
my god! So you wouldn't just stay at your locals if your local said, "Hey, we'll give you cash." No.
Our locals, but I know you have.
I have been to our locals and
Not
I'm not
Vegas.
impressed. I'm not impressed with our locals. All right, so live chat. What do you guys
It's
think?
cheaper to go to Vegas than to go to the locals.
Oh my god, it is too, right? So much.
The rooms are way cheaper.
Our locals
And
are pretty
An
ridiculous.
hour and a half flight, as opposed to a 3-hour drive.
Right? Yeah, it's a good 2-hour drive for me too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3-day drive for us, so we're not going.
right. So yeah, shoot. I'm not sure. I probably play table games still. I assume that you still be able to buy in with cash for table games. I mean, that's always the rule. Money plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
You slap it on the table.
Unless they have a swipe
Yeah.
card on the tables.
Yeah, I guess there's that too. I guess it'd be a little easier to keep track. I don't know how I feel about that. Jerry's jumping into the live chat. Jerry, what do you think? Cashless casinos. How do you feel about that whole concept right there? Let us know in the live chat, Spinners and Sharks. Would you go to a cashless casino?
What if they do it like is that Dave & Buster's that does the reloadable cards?
Yeah, where you buy the card.
Yeah, what if they turn their players cards into players cards / reloadable cards?
I guess that would be a good happy medium. Like you could bring. I guess it depends on how you'd load it. Like, would you still go to would you go to the machine? You put in your player's card, then you load in $500, and then you pull it out, and then I guess that'd be easier to track your play that way. But then you're always getting your play tracked. So some people are a little suspicious about that, a little superstitious about it. So that's another.
Yeah,
concept.
but if they would just do their damn research and know that it doesn't affect your actual gameplay, people.
Roger. I can't shrug harder than this.
They're like, stop! You're scaring them with facts and science.
Oh man.
Okay, can you imagine Ocean's 11 in a cashless casino environment?
You know what? That would make making movies about it so much cooler.
It would be a lot
It'd
faster
like
too.
When he's sitting at home, like eating Cheetos, like
Right.
learning how to hack into.
Yeah, actual footage of it. Hang on.
If you're like, what was that? What was the guy's name? The main actor in it.
George Clooney.
If he weighed 500 pounds and lived in his mom's basement, was a hacker instead.
Oh,
Exactly.
Brad Pitt. If Brad Pitt was like a hacker. All right, here it is. Here's Ocean's 14. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. We're in the Bellagio. I got him. Security camera's disabled. Downloaded. We got him, guys. We got him, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's another thing. People would need to remember. Ron said this. Just remember your player's card.
Yeah, you couldn't forget your player's card in the machine.
That's why they got the ropes for them.
Right? Yeah, you'd have to wear the ropes too. I always forget about the ropes and I lose the card. And usually it's beneficial for me because someone else will play on it. I'll get a couple extra points and then I'll wake up the next morning like, oh yeah, where's my card? I should probably go downstairs and get it.
Right, that's what happened to us with our first stay at the Venetian. I left my card downstairs and somebody mistakenly used it for theirs on table games and spent $5,000.
Good stuff.
Did you get all the points?
I got free rooms and free gambling money.
Nice.
And didn't complain.
Yeah.
Didn't complain. Don't complain if it's
No.
not a problem.
No, I'm not complaining. They gave me $900 in free gambling. So
I'll drink to that.
yeah, hell yeah. I wish they do it.
Bang it
again.
out. Bangarang.
Now I just go to the casino and keep going to the desk every hour and just get a new card and just start leaving it everywhere.
Oh man. All right, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. What else do we want to talk about with this cashless casino system over here? I think everyone's mortified about the problem gamblers. How?
Yeah, but at the same time, there's always going to be pros and cons. And every time a new technology comes out, everybody's always leery about something.
But there are no pros to
And then-
this. We just found out that there are absolutely no
Oh.
pros to this. This sounds terrible, really.
Yeah, there's really are no pros to it.
Like, what's the
You're
point
right.
of this, really? Like, I guess, I think, I'm starting to think the point of this is just to get people to gamble more. And I'm concerned that a side effect of that is that people will gamble more that shouldn't be gambling more. Because we were talking about this before the show. The way I was thinking about it is, if you have a credit card, generally that means you have a savings account, which means you can afford a credit card. And I understand that's not necessarily true. Unfortunately, like, my concept was, I can't afford to have a credit card. I shouldn't have one for a while. I have a credit card now because I can afford the credit card. Apparently not everybody thinks about that. So that horrifies me.
Yeah, I think the thought of anybody being able to gamble with their credit card is terrifying.
Yeah, but I used to think the same thing about being able to pay things with my phone when that technology first came out. You know, thinking I don't have to dig for my wallet. I can forget my wallet at home and just use my phone to pay for things. That was scary at first too, but now I use it all the time.
But that's at least still the same system, though. That's the same system. We're talking like
Yeah.
tossing like money at a machine, and you're drinking. You're being fed drinks all the time.
Yeah.
And like, hey,
I think if they did a reloadable card, then I would be okay with that.
right, like
That
something
would
that
be
required effort. It should take some effort to get more
Right.
money in there. That's my thing. If we're gonna do it, it's
Right.
got to take a lot of effort.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to have that second to think about what you're doing. Because
Yeah.
I think even if somebody doesn't have a gambling problem, they're going to push a little bit past their limits.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
more so than they would if they didn't have such easy access to their bank account from the slot machine.
Right.
Yeah, and like you said, Christina, I don't like the idea of my bank account being tied to it at all anyways.
Yeah. Well, and like if you think about the psychology of a slot machine and how it's designed to like keep us going, like if you see the unicow in a different column and you're like, oh, well, if I just like grab a little bit more from my bank account, maybe that unicow will come over.
Yeah.
Right. Those
Or the
those near
2 points
misses.
of Buffalo.
Right.
Ooh, Buffalo's my weakness. Oh, Buffalo Gold is my weakness. Oh.
Do you ever make the noise at home?
Buffalo.
Yeah, I do. That'll be on my.
That's the
stream
only
deck
one
next
I
week.
win, though. That's legit. I think that and Wolf's Run are the only slot machines I legitimately like. I hate all the other slot machines because I just don't like slot machines in general, and because there's not a formula to winning. There's not a technique you can use. It's not a strategy. So I don't play a lot of slots. It's very rare to see slot videos on my channel. very physically difficult for me to record them because I don't.
Except at the airport.
Except for at the airport. Oh, that was Buffalo
yeah.
though. That was Buffalo. That was Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh man, Buffalo. It just, I could walk past. I mean, we could be in Vegas right now. If every casino was closed, but this little gas station had a Buffalo machine, I'd be at a gas
You'd be
station.
down.
Yeah.
I love Buffalo so much.
Maybe that's
Even
what we
the
should
old,
do.
even the old one. I like the old Buffalo too.
Yeah. I love Buffalo and Planet Moolah.
We'll stop going to the casinos then if they go cashless, and then we'll just take our cash to the gas stations and play Buffalo there. That's what we'll do.
Right? Hopefully the airport will keep it. I'll just play at the airport.
Yeah, just stay
fly
at the
to Vegas
airport.
and stay at the airport, yeah.
Or we just need Movestro to bring it back.
There you go. Movestro does, but we'll all chip in and get one from Movestro.
Coming back soon. His
Yeah.
Christmas should be about ready to
I
catch
think
up.
so.
Yeah,
I think
everyone
so,
takes a different level of Christmas break too. I think I took about 2 weeks of Christmas break, and I'm still trying to get consistent again. It's hard to do after Christmas break.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just-
Yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts before we wrap it up? I think we're at the hour already, and I know we've had like a million Vegas videos today. People are probably exhausted, I'm certain.
No, cashless bad. Next.
Right.
That's it.
Cashless is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No cashless. We're sticking with cash, but we'll still apparently go to Vegas anyway.
You heard it here, folks. Cashless band is still going to be there.
All right, even if they go cashless, we're still going. Doesn't matter. We're gonna hate it, but we're gonna go. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Or we
absolutely.
just need your soundboard to like if somebody goes into like the cashless slot machine and they're to like trying to access their bank account, we just need like that sound yelling at us.
All right, just a, ding, 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 ding,
Excuse
ding,
me,
ding.
sir. Do you have enough money to pay for that card? Should you pay that card? Are you overdrafting your account? Do you need help out running a gambling?
Step away from the slot machine. Step away from the slot machine. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Appreciate you, my man.
Step away from the Buffalo. You see, I have an issue here. We're just going to offer you some help.
Jesus. All right, Spinners and Sharks. So that's all the time that we have today. Roger, Christina, you guys want to go ahead and do your sign-offs? Thanks again for co-hosting with me as usual.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
right today.
I love it.
I still don't have a sign up, but we found a new channel this weekend. Bob Dingo is hilarious. So if you run out of Vegas videos, check him out. He's like Oz-Man for Vegas.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Seeking Vegas Radio. Steve Christie, very much for joining us today.
Oh, good Lord. All right. Well, on that bombshell, this is Ace of Vegas, and we're signing out, wishing you strong hands, and of course, happy spinning, you guys. Good night, everybody. And I mean that for real this time. Oh man, y'all wild. Y'all wilding out.